Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of Dela's Voice. What a day this is going to be. It's going to be a fantastic talk. I'm so excited to have my next guest on the show. My guest today is Ahmad Shah Duranai. He is a best-selling author. He is an award-winning speaker. He is a business coach, consultant, program trainer, and educator. Ahmad Shah is a man with a plethora of knowledge in so many different domains. As a matter of fact, he is one of my mentors, and I'm so proud to call him my friend. And he is here today to share with us his knowledge on how to handle stress and how to find your life's passions. And I'm so excited for you to hear this from Ahmad Shah. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Ahmad Shah Duranai on Dela's Voice. Hello.
Hello,
How are
Dela.
you?
How are
How are
you?
you today? Thank you for being here.
Thank you for that introduction. I hope I will live up to that.
Oh, you're
And,
so much more.
and
So
I
much
want
more.
to say hello to all the viewers. And I think we are going to have a great time together.
Oh, we sure are. We always do have a great time. May I just say, Ahmad Shah, you have I've never seen you stressed out. Anytime I see you, I feel like this is one of those men who is always calm, who is always in control, and who's always serene. And so anytime I come to you with a question or a problem, you have such an easy way of explaining it to me that by the end I'm like, how, how did I think this was a problem? So I want to appreciate you for that. And
Thank you.
so I know that with your talk today, a lot of people are going to benefit from this. And that's why I want to encourage everyone who's watching to please share this with the people you love. I promise you that there's going to be so many nuggets that you're going to gain from this talk. And be generous with this knowledge. Share it with your friends. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Okay. All right. So thank you for everyone who's joining us. Amisha, do you want to take a moment and make sure that we are streaming live on our Facebook pages?
Yes, on my timeline, we are streaming live. So
Perfect. And mine too. So thank you for people who are already joining us. Henrik, Navid, Furur, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give us your comments. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments section. And also let us know where you're watching us from. This is always interesting when we see that we are broadcasting internationally. This is perfect. Okay, Amisha, with that, thank you again for giving us your time today. So why don't you tell everybody where you started? I mean, you didn't always do this as a career. This was not always your profession. Where did you start?
well, before I go there, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to be on Dela's show. Dela's show, you may or may not know, is now having an international impact. And I'm very honored to be your guest on this. And I think you are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
You know, your message is impacting the lives of other people. So,
I
so
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
So just to briefly mention, I'm 70 years old. So if I tell you my story of where I began, we will be here tomorrow till noon also. But I will briefly tell you that I was born in Afghanistan, in a tribal rural area where, if I might say, where women didn't count except as a source of honor, where people were defined by their defects, where manhood was not determined by your age, but by your ability to carry a gun and use a gun, and where school was considered a curse rather than a blessing.
Mhm.
My father was a very tough person. That's why he could survive in that kind of environment. But the side effect of it was that I grew up to be a very shy and timid person. In the presence of my father, I couldn't even speak. So that's the beginning. And then I will give you a big break. What I learned from that was that I learned how to listen. And, and that ability to listen and the vision of my father to put me in school give me the opportunity to excel in school academically and then to get a scholarship and study architecture in the American University of Beirut. So my background is in architecture. And as an architect, I led design teams on some very big mega projects in the world. One example is like the Atlantis Resort in Dubai. This is a situation. So, from my shy background and being in a leadership position on these projects, I was exposed to tremendous stresses in my
Mhm.
life.
Mhm. I can imagine.
And like on the Atlantis Resort, we had 17 international consulting firms, each one having their own deadlines and their own requests and requirements. And to deal with it was extremely stressful. I had to learn in practice how to cope with that stress. And eventually, when I went through this process, we might refer to it later on, called the passion test. I discovered that beside architecture, I had other passions also, but I wasn't living them because architecture was taking so much of my time and focus. So I slowly transitioned and to follow my other passions, which was to educate people, which was to have a better spiritual life, to have more control over my schedule, to to be an author, to be a writer, to be a speaker. And that happened about 13 years ago. And now the rest is kind of, at least in my life, it is history because I became an author, I am a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm an educator. I follow my own schedule and and do all the things that I'm passionate about. So in this process, I learned how to manage stress. And I believe that's one of the topics we're going to talk about today.
Yes, yes.
That,
Well, thank you for that introduction. And I have to say, I have seen some of the photos of what projects you have worked on, and they're all amazing. And the Atlantis project in that you worked on with so many other people was a beautiful, I mean, beautiful building. Is that is just
that,
amazing. I can't imagine how much work and stress would have to go into
yeah.
finishing something like that.
I have to just clarify that I was a project manager leading the design team.
Mhm.
I didn't do the design. The design credit goes to other people, very creative designers. But I would like to say that a friend of mine sent me an email, and the title of the email was The 40 Wonders of the World. And to see the picture of the Atlantis Resort in Dubai in that 40 Wonders was a great source of pride for me. I
Oh
become
my.
emotional about it. So
Of course it would be. It's like, so let's see, what did you do in your lifetime? Let's see. I helped create one of the 40
yeah,
wonders of the world. I think that's a pretty cool legacy, Emma. Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, so let's see. Now, when I asked you for a title for the show, you suggested releasing stress and finding your passions. And that's what we want to talk about because I think those two different subjects are really, really important. to talk about. So let's just take a moment and say hi to everybody who's watching. Thank you so much for joining us. I see Colleen Woodhead is watching us, and Yvonne Velosa. He says hello. Welcome to the show, Yvonne. Uh, my friend Sharon is watching. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we're talking about releasing stress to live your passions. And that is a fantastic, fantastic topic. So I want to start like this, Ahmad.
Okay.
What, why is it so important for us to talk about stress?
Well, let's look at it from two different perspectives. In ordinary life, we are exposed to stress every day. And if we don't know how to manage it, we will be following what Deepak Chopra says. Deepak Chopra, who is a famous medical doctor and Ayurvedic physician, if I can quote him, he says that 95% of all the diseases that we have is the result of stress. He also says that the other 5% is the result of the stress of our ancestors, that they were in a stressful situation and affected their biology, and we inherited the DNA from them.
Mm,
So, stress is an important element. Managing it is to be in optimal health, and not managing it is allowing all the diseases to come and invade us. So that is why it is very important.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So
The second
yeah.
element, sorry, the second element is because of the pandemic, most people suddenly face a different level of stress in their life. The stress in their life has increased several folds for some people. So that's why it is very important that at this time, when we are still under the impact of the pandemic and isolation and lockdowns and social distancing, that we understand what stress is and how to manage it.
So thank you for mentioning that, because that was going to be the follow-up question, because it is important to talk about it right now. And so you because of the life you have lived, you have amassed a vast knowledge on how to handle stress. And so I want to say this because I know that you have created programs that help people to deal with their stress. And so, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, sure, I can talk about it. So, what happened was that after being exposed to so many projects and all kinds of stress, in the construction industry, life is tougher because uh, people speak with a very loud voice. People speak also they use a lot of F words, if I might say. Otherwise, people won't hear it because there is a lot of noise in the construction sites. So, coming from a very shy background and very timid, to be exposed to that kind of environment, I had to learn how to cope with it. So what happened was that all my experiences, what I did was I put them in one of my books, The Leadership Zone, where there is an entire chapter on stress management. Actually, there are 3 chapters of that book are dedicated to various aspects of stress and how to manage it. And now with the pandemic, what happened was that I realized that a lot of people are in a very stressful situation. And one of my mentors, by the name of Raymond Aron, I believe you know also, he jokingly says that, by the time this pandemic is over, you will see 2 lines. There will be a lineup in the maternity ward, and there will be a lineup in the divorce court.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
people are put together in isolation and in the lockdowns, the amount of stress that they are exposed to, a lot of people don't know how to manage it. So
Yes.
it's going to snap them. So what I did was, if you know that I am a coach and I have programs to impact people so that they can be a better and bigger version of themselves. So I came up with this idea that, okay, how can I help during this pandemic the people who really suffer from increased level of stress? So I created this program called the Stress Pandemic and the Six Pack Solution. The Six Pack Solution is actually what the three chapters in my book is all about.
It's not a six pack of beer, by the way, just so you
It's
know.
it's the six pack of muscles that the
Yes.
six pack that you know. Okay, since I'm an abstainer, I don't drink alcohol. Obviously, I
It won't
wouldn't.
help out the stress anyways. It's just a temporary
Yeah,
solution.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the other pain point that people really are exposed to because of the pandemic is that a lot of people lost their dreams as a result of the pandemic. They gave up. They were passionate about something, and then the pandemic suddenly destroyed everything in their lives.
Hmm.
So they kind of gave up their dreams and their passions. I am a certified passion test facilitator, so I said, okay, how can I help? Let me revive my passion test program and make it into a Zoominar so people don't have to leave their homes. They can still participate and rediscover and rekindle their passions, see what they are. And we obviously give them tools in the Zoominar of how they can bring those passions into their life. And I'm a living example. When I went through the passion test in 2006, I discovered that beside architecture, I had other passions also, but I wasn't living them. I wanted to become a writer and write books. I wanted to become a speaker. I wanted to have a much better spiritual life, spend more quality time with my family. I couldn't do it when I was an architect. So eventually, through the tools of the passion test, I managed to achieve them all. That's what I offer now people, the passion test Zoominar and the stress pandemic Zoominar, so that the two most important things that most people are exposed to, that is the stress and how they can rekindle their passions, is available for them.
Well, that's awesome. We already getting a lot of people asking, where is it? Where is this test? Where is this test? And right. So I and it's coming. I
Mm.
promise you, it's coming. So Emma's gonna surprise you with an amazing gift. But I want to go back to the importance of finding your passions. Why why is that so crucial, Ahmad? Why is it so important for us to first of all find out what our passions are, and to live them, to start living them?
So let's go to the definition of passion. Okay,
Mhm.
there obviously will be many different definitions of passion, but the definition of passion in the passion test is like this, if I might say that. Passion is that thing that drives you, that if you do not live it, you will have pain and suffering in your life. So to have a passionate life and to live your passions actually prevent you from feeling stressful, from feeling unfulfilled, from feeling that you have a miserable life. When you are living your passions are actually a guide to your destiny. Every human being is created on this planet Earth to have a destiny, and that destiny, for many people, they don't know what it is, what their life's purpose is. And the passion test show them how to get there. It's like in the airplane, if I might say. In the airplane, the hostess will come and say, in case of emergency, there will be lights on the floor that will lead you to the exit, to lead you to your salvation. So these passions are those lights on the floor that direct you towards your destiny. And uh, that's just a glimpse of what we do in the passion test. And obviously, we show them what their top 5 passions are, and then what they should do to bring them into their lives. As a matter of fact, you are a graduate of my program, so maybe instead of me promoting it, maybe you can say, how did you find it?
Oh my God. With pleasure, first of all. But how many of you who are watching this right now, and how many of you really have pinpointed your passions, your top 5 passions? I mean, I thought I knew what my passions was. Oh, I know what my passions are, but I was flabbergasted. Like I was able to really get down to the top 5 passions. So, I mean, how many of you here are watching this thinking, "Oh my God, I have no clue what my passions are and I want to find out." This is the best way. I am telling you, first of all, I had a lot of fun doing it. Okay. And so I found out that I have top 5 passions. And let me tell you, before I found out, it was a little confusing for me to make decisions, to decide, if I want to do this or I should do this. And once I found out what my top 5 passions were, life became less and less stressed because I was able to make decisions that aligned with my passions. So I think that's how it works. I know Yvonne is really she really wants to know now. But you want to know what my top 5 passions are in life, which I am using every single day. On a daily basis, I am making decisions that align with my top 5 passions. So, oh, let's see. There's a comment from Colleen. Okay, let's bring it up. That's a testimonial right here. Colleen says, me. I did my passion test with Ahmad Shah Duranai, and it opened my eyes and was so much fun. I agree with you, Colleen. I also think that it was a lot of fun. It did open my eyes. My top 5 passions are: number 1, having fun. If it's not fun, it's not worth doing it. It's got to be fun. Number 2, and so I got to tell you, like, everybody's passions are different, right? You got to find your
Yeah.
own passion. So number 2, for me, was impacting the world on a daily basis with positivity. That was number 2. Number 3 was being the talk show host of Dela's Voice and reaching millions of people. And this is in the process. Number 4, passion for me was learning something new every day. Number 5 was being in control of my time. And anytime I think about it, it brings a smile to my face because it's so good to know, because every decision I have to make, say yes or no to, I say, okay, is it going to align with one of these top 5 passions? If it's not, I'm not doing it. And it has made my life so much better. So that's my testimonial.
Well,
Take
thank
it.
you very much. And let me thank Colleen also for her testimonial. I really appreciate that. Uh, so it makes life simpler also,
It does.
right?
It
It makes
does.
it simpler and enjoyable. That's when you know what your passions are and you are living them. So
Yes, because so much time we spend in deciding, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? Is it going to work for me? Isn't it going to work for me? Well, if it's not aligned with your passion, then you have a straight answer. I'm sure. Can we say hi to some people, and then we want to go? Okay,
sure,
our
sure.
explanation. Thank you. So I have a lot of people watching. Thank you so much. People have joined. I have to go back and look at all the names. This is Patricia is watching. Roshanak is watching. She says it sounds awesome. Yvonne is like so adamant to know. She wants to know. She's like, share your test. And Rakesh is watching. Maria's watching. Tony Walsh, good afternoon to you as well, Tony, and thank you so much for being here and watching us. And Ziba is watching. Hello, my dear. Thank you, everybody, for watching. They are very interested to find out more about your passion test. So go ahead, Ahmed.
Let's not forget the stress, because passion test, to know your passions is only one way of managing your stresses. There are many other things also, and perhaps for people during this pandemic, it will be very important to have a toolbox, a toolbox where for different situations they have a different, either an exercise or some kind of thought or a tool through which they can manage that kind of stress. So in the stress pandemic and six-pack solution, the Zoominar, we are helping people to get this toolkit, which has 6 compartments. That's where the six-pack comes. So there are 6 packs in that toolbox that will tell you. The first thing we want to do there, for example, is what is stress? Why stress has such a bad rap? Let me ask people who are watching and ask you also, what will happen if we have zero stress?
I'm gonna give a few seconds to people to think about that because I already know the answer. You've already taught me that,
Yeah.
So yeah, answer that question. This is really interesting. What happens in our lives if we have zero stress? Go ahead and put that in the comment section.
Yeah. Anyway, so until they do, so one of the things we do is we actually analyze what stress is, and then find out, differentiate between different kinds of stresses, and then a whole toolbox of how to go from being in a state of contraction to a state of expansion.
So you have to explain a little bit about that.
Okay, so everything that we do, this one I can explain. Everything that we do when we are awake, when we are sleeping, etc., we are either in a state of expansion or in a state of contraction. When we are in a state of expansion, our head is high, our shoulders are pushed back, we breathe deep, we enjoy what we are doing. It's any kind of activity that we enjoy, whether it's a hobby, whether it's a painting, it's music, etc., that when we are doing it, we are in a state of expansion. That is, we are stressed, but we are in good stress. Okay. Then there are other situations where we are in a state of contraction, where we are either tired, we are bored, we don't like what we are doing, etc. Our shoulders are drooping, our breathing is changing, we breathe shallow, our head goes down, and we don't enjoy what we are doing. We become grumpy, we become, depressed, we sad, etc. All these negative emotions suddenly attack us. So we are always moving from one to the other. And the more we stay in a state of expansion, the more productive we become, and the more we enjoy life. Time eventually, even sometimes when we like an activity, as time goes by, we become tired and we become bored, and we need that change. When we go into state of contraction, so in the Zoominar, we explore these in more details and give them clues. When is it that you feel that you are in a state of contraction? You should stop what you are doing, and then what of these tools that we give them, they can do to take them back to the state of expansion, as soon as possible. So it is a whole a box with 6 compartments, and they include tools. For example, discipline tools. How you can discipline yourself. When you command yourself, you will obey. How you can detect whether you are in a state of contraction or in a state of expansion. What are some physical tools that you can use that can help you to manage stress, like deep breathing, like rest and relaxation, like movement and exercise, etc. There are a whole thing. How you can use your diet to manage your stress, how you can manage your financials in such a way that you will minimize the stress.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's those are all big ones.
Yeah, so in the seminar we go into that mental tools, like how your attitude affects your level of stress and how you can manage it.
Mm-hmm.
How the paradigms, the value systems that you have, how they affect to deal with the situation. How your expectations that you have built up affect your stress. We deal with all those things. Mental relaxation exercises, uh, terms like sizing, for example, is we explain what sizing is, and how you can manage stress by just using that. There are social tools, how you can create a social support system, how relationships are important, how you can hold the relationships together, so through it you can manage stress, how you can improve your communication skills to manage stress. Spiritual tools, how you can do meditation, how you can do prayers for stress management, gratitude, forgiveness, how you can forgive yourself and suddenly get rid of so much stress in your life. Uh, how you can use some principles of perseverance and patience, etc. So it's a whole 3 hours of a
Oh,
seminar.
that's a lot of material. That's a lot of content for 3 hours,
Yeah,
right? I mean, amazing.
yeah, it is. It is amazing. But what we do is that people who register, we give them a bonus. We give them those who register, we give them a bonus, and that one of the bonus is the PDF copy of this book, The Leadership Zone, which has the 3 chapters. Okay.
Mine is all
Yeah.
marked. This
Right.
I call this the my life encyclopedia. I've told you that before because I always go to this. Ahmed, we have an answer to your earlier question. I gotta say this
Yeah.
is a smart answer.
Yeah.
Life
So,
needs challenges. If you have no a stress, that's probably a stress. Life, if you have no stress, you have no challenge.
okay. Actually, if you have zero stress, you will be dead.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I
Okay.
agree.
Yeah. So, stress is an integral part of life.
Mm-hmm.
It's That's why I'm not saying how to eliminate stress. I'm saying how you manage it.
You manage it. We have another comment. Family stress, for example. That's one thing, right?
Yeah, family stress can be dealt with. We deal with family stress through managing relationships and communication skills
So I get my
and
stress. I
attitude
I
and
I worry.
expectation.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said that when you there are family stresses, we can manage them through communication skills, relationship management, through our expectations. If we manage our expectations, because family uh, dynamics impose certain expectations on us, and our expectations determine how we react to people, what they do in the family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if we can manage our expectations, suddenly we are in control of how much of that stress we want to allow to affect us.
That's big.
Yeah,
Yes, because stresses do happen. It's just how we react to them. Like Yvonne says, I get my stress. I worry about my mother. She's 98. Like something like that. There's no control over that, right?
yeah,
And I can appreciate how that can stress your life for sure. Um, so sh- she lives alone. When she doesn't answer the phone, that's where I get really worried and stressed.
Mm,
It's so natural, right?
yeah,
So natural.
obviously.
Wow.
Obviously, I think that Yvonne, if I think if she can find a means, schedule, etc., and things like that to attend my upcoming program, perhaps it will put her in a better situation. It She may not, if her her mother or grandmother,
Her mom.
her mom lives alone. By attending the program, she can do two things. One of them is that it will help her to cope with the situation much better, and if she is proactive, perhaps she can make certain changes in her lifestyle to make it easier for her mother also.
Um, Ahmad, it's not, and you're so right. Sometimes we're like, oh no, it's okay. It's normal. This is normal. This is normal. Everybody's going through that. People react to stress different ways.
Of course, everybody. That's why we created over 30 different tools so that it can fit a bigger group of people. That some people can use. They can say, find out that, oh, these 5 tools are very good for me. The
Yes,
other,
yes.
another might say, okay, I can use these 3 tools. Another might say, I can use these 2 tools, etc. So
Yes. And it's not necessarily for who is going through a lot of stress, or you might just say, "Oh, no, I don't have that much stress in my life." But like it's being proactive, right? Because excuse me, stressors are out there. You know, you, and wouldn't it be great if we all had the tools? Wouldn't it be great if we
yeah,
could we could learn how to deal with them in advance, not wait for an emergency.
yeah, it's true.
Right? Colleen says, I stress about putting my thoughts and energy towards that which I don't want rather than what I truly desire.
Yeah, so that's an issue of attitude and paradigms. When we are when our mindset is set at scarcity, that and our attitude is that the universe is a hostile place, we respond and react to circumstances differently than if we will believe that the universe is a friendly place and there are always people out there who will be willing and able to help.
Thank you.
The entire dynamics of our life changes just with those two ideas, whether the universe is hostile or the universe is a friendly place.
Um, our next comment is some people, I guess, financially stressed, not having a job or enough money to pay the bills.
Yeah. Again, that's true for people who suddenly were not prepared, they were not proactive. Uh, uh, they are in very difficult situations. I agree. On the other hand, I might say that yes, we actually in Canada we are blessed because our government came up to support millions of people who would have been in very dire situation. They came with this support system to support people financially, but in other countries, people are really having difficult situations. So I always am very grateful that I live in Canada and I'm a Canadian, and we have a government who is serving us, independent of political views or anything. Any government who will be there, they are at the service of the Canadian citizens and they are helping us. So I'm very grateful, despite the fact that there are difficulties. Our difficulties are much less than the difficulties of billions of people around the world.
It's all a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
I want to stress this too, that a lot of times when we're going under a lot of stress, and especially during difficult times like right now, the
Mm.
amount of stress that's consuming us doesn't allow us to be open-minded. So it's hard for us to come up with solutions to our situation. It's hard to come up with new ideas, to be creative, how to make more money, how to create income. So that this is a place to start. This is, you know that in order for you to become better, more creative, you need to have an open mind and be in a better mindset, and that's why this is so important.
So my my insight in this regard will be that any person who is able and willing to do something, that they come with this program. I will just give them it. If every day they write one idea that if that idea was implemented, it will not only help other people, but it will generate some money for them. And just put,
Okay, say that again, please. Say that
if,
again.
if every day they come with one idea and write it down on a piece of paper, that if that idea was implemented, it will, excuse me, let me get some water.
So I like that. How realistic does it have to be?
They write it, and if it was implemented, it will generate revenues for them and help other people. Tomorrow, they write another idea and another. For 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. In 1 month, you come with 30 different ideas, and then you review them all together. You find out that, oh, this idea is really stupid. What was I thinking? So you just throw it away. Another idea, oh, this idea can work, but I don't have the capital to do it. This idea, I don't have the network to do this. But eliminate, you will come up with 2 or 3 ideas that if you implement, you will be financially free, you will generate revenues, and you will impact the lives of many other people. Because of the pandemic, you can very easily find out what are the pain points, what are the things that people are suffering from. And all what you have to do is come with a solution to their pains.
When you say write these ideas down,
Yeah.
how okay, so like how realistic do they have to be? How possible? I mean, obviously, I'm not going to grow wings and fly.
They can be 2 or 3 sentences each idea. They can be one sentence.
Okay.
It's just so that when they are reviewing the ideas, they have it in writing, because something that is in your mind you cannot see, but something that you have put on paper, you can see it. And when you can see it, you can analyze it, you can look at it, and you can observe it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can look at how practical it can be, and you can, by elimination, you can't do more than 1 or 2 things at the same time anyway. So
Yeah.
you have 30 things. By elimination, you get the 2 best and you work on them, and suddenly you come with ideas. That is how in the depression in 1929 to 33, the largest number of millionaires were created, because those people thought of how they can solve the problems of that time. And now here you will see that there will be many people who are resourceful and come up with these ideas of how they can impact the lives of people who are suffering and solve their pain problems, and they will be extremely successful.
Yes. Yes. But you have to allow yourself um mindset. You have to
Yeah,
allow yourself to be relaxed, and to learn the tools to relax yourself, to put yourself in that positive mindset, because you can't solve a problem from a place where you created the problem, right?
yeah.
Isn't that true? So let's see what Colleen says here. She says whimsical desires could inspire realistic plans. So write whatever comes to mind.
Yeah. So I will say that everything starts with a dream. You know, the law of manifestation. I think Colleen is a coach. She
Yes.
will be very much familiar with the law of manifestation. So the law of manifestation says that anything that is manifested in the physical world actually goes through several stages, but a minimum of two. It first is developed in somebody's mind, in somebody's thought. It is created as a thought and then passing through various stages of gestation and action and planning, etc., and things like that. It is physically manifested. So this list of 30 ideas in 1 month is the beginning of that process.
I think it's great. I think it's great. I'm going to start doing that. Anytime I face a challenge or a problem, start writing down um, ideas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Well, we have a great comment from Puna Matish. Thank you so much. It's unbelievable show with great learnings, dear Dela Futu and dear Ahmad Shah Duranai, sir. Amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, my dear Puna Matish. I think we have a Persian name, Puna, and I think that's how I relate to that name. I love it. Thank you so much for giving us the comment. Ahmed, I want to make sure that you let everybody know how they can get on board with these programs.
Well, so
Right?
let's
So
see.
let's not forget that. Could you tell us um, how people can join, and how, please, if you have an offer for the audience they can benefit from? Thank you so much. I would
Well,
really appreciate that.
I do have a special offer, and it's in honor of Dela's voice.
Oh, yay.
So I mentioned that my contribution of how to solve the problems of the people in the pandemic was to come up with these two Zoominars, the stress pandemic and the six-pack solution, and the passion test, how to live your passions during the pandemic and beyond. Uh, what I offer is that in this group, I have a combined offer. I usually do it, people come to the passion test and then they come to the stress pandemic or the other way around. In the month of August, I have next Sunday, August 16, I have the stress pandemic. And then on Saturday, August 22nd, I have the passion test. And what I will offer to the viewers, whether they are here in Canada or abroad, because it's a Zoominar, they can access. The Zoominar starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So in the previous programs, there were people from Europe, there were people all the way from other parts of the world who participated in it, and they had no problem. So here is the deal. In the beginning of the comments, I put a link and a promo code. Okay, the link is to the stress pandemic, and the promo code gives them a substantial discount, but not just a discount. The discount covers that if they come to the stress pandemic and register with that, discounted fee that they will pay, they will come for free to the passion test the week after.
Woo! I didn't get that. I,
Yeah,
I
well, okay. So, so
I'm just letting everybody know.
your viewers are lucky because I think that these two are very much combined.
Oh my gosh,
How to
yes.
manage stress and how to live your passions. They're interrelated. So I wanted to give them just one offer. The fee actually is nominal. When you look at the value that they get from it, the fee is just a nominal fee. I won't even mention it. Uh, but here the offer is that within 1 week you will have access to both Zoominars, and you will be equipped with so many tools to have a passionate life and to control the stresses in your life that you will be surprised.
Oh my
The,
god.
I will say it out loud. Uh, the promo code is Dela SPS. That means Stress Pandemic Solution.
Ooh, I like that name.
Okay, or
Actually,
you can also say it Six Pack Solution, SPS. It's one word. So Dela is Dela, of course, with capital D, and then you add SPS in capital, and that code will give you a substantial discount to the stress pandemic. And then as soon as we receive that you have registered, we will then let you know that the details of the passion test, and you can put it on your schedule, and then you can come for the passion test also the week after.
okay, I posted it again so people can see it right now. I just did it in the comment section. Um, what the benefits I got from just the one test, from the passion test, uh, have have substantially improved my life quality, Ahmad Shah. Uh,
Well, thank you.
I say that all the time. Like anywhere I can talk about the passion test, I always talk about it because it's one of those little gifts that you can give yourself that can benefit you immensely. And I think every single one of us deserves to know what passions they
Yeah.
have.
Just to mention, passion test was developed by Janet and Chris Atwood. I know them personally both. They were initially married and then they got divorced. And as a result of the passion test that they developed, they are now business partners. Not only business partners, they are best friends. And Janet is the godmother of Chris's children also. So that's how close they are. And and the passion test has helped hundreds of thousands of people around the world. And if I just might say is that i- 2 years ago, a Gallup survey, they found out that 87% of the people worldwide don't like what they're doing. And, and that is really a very sad situation.
So sad.
So we know that we are surrounded by people who are not passionate. And if we are not passionate, they are going to affect us. However, if we learn our passions and live by them, we can influence them. We can influence people around us so that the light we shine on them is going to brighten their life also. So
I
they're
love.
not just helping themselves, they're helping other people. I mean, people, I think Colleen, she mentioned, I believe she could testify again that yes, she can now help many other people because she's clear about what her passions are. And I'm sure since the passion test, you have had strides with Dela's voice. It has affected perhaps tens of thousands of people worldwide. So
Um,
that's really
so
amazing.
so this is a face of a woman who knows what her top five passions are, and I live them every day, and it makes me super super happy. I got to tell you, like, I'm a firm believer that when if you want something to change, you got to start changing some things, and this was a big change for me. And so I want to thank you for offering this opportunity for people to start changing their lives. If you feel like, you know, how many times have you asked someone, so what do you like to do? And they go, I don't know what I like. I don't know what I like. And that's a really sad place to be. But you can change that. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
it,
So amazing. So Colleen says yes, for sure.
yeah,
Marianne Pageant says uh, she's just really kind. She's just kind. This amazing show with a great guest. Thank you so much, Marianne. Rosemary Especial says thank you. So I want to make sure that we haven't missed anyone. Leslie Lemuri, thank you so much for joining us, Leslie. Jesu is watching us. I don't know where all these people are watching from, but this is really cool right now. So thank you so much. So once again, that link is right in the comment section. And so just to reiterate, I want to make sure that people know that you can, if you sign up for the stress pandemic and the six-pack solution, you not also get like a tremendous discount on that one test, but Ahmad Shah's giving you the passion test as a
and
gift.
and the PDF of this book.
And the PDF of his of the Life's Encyclopedia. That's
Yes.
amazing. That's amazing.
And this is courtesy of Dela's voice.
Well, and thank you very much. But thank you, Ahmad Shah. Thank you so much for being so generous. Yes, I want to give you a few more minutes to add
So
whatever you like.
so the viewers, they can connect with me on Facebook. Send me messages, actually. Maybe send me messages. I'm on LinkedIn also, Ahmad Shah Duranai. You can find me. The picture with the same beard will appear in both cases. All white.
I looked up Ahmad Shah Duranai, by the way, and that was a picture of a king showed up.
Actually, yeah, I tell people that somehow they took my name and put it on.
I know. How dare. So your website, www.duronet.ca, is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, so people can connect you on there as well, correct?
Yeah, and they can look at my other programs, actually. You know that one thing I never talked about is that I'm a master trainer of verbal Aikido.
Oh, yeah. Another grand program.
So that is the most advanced communication skills program in the world, and developed by James McNeil, who is our mutual teacher, friend, and mentor and coach. It's one of the best communication programs, and I'm lucky that I am the master trainer of that. And people who have attended my programs of the verbal Aikido workshops have completely changed their lives.
It's an amazing program. Ahmad, by the way, is there a time limit? There's a question. Is there a time
Yes,
limit to this
yes.
offer?
This offer is valid for 48 hours.
So for the next 2 days. So until 1 p.m. on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So make sure you sign up by 1 p.m. on Tuesday, because I don't want you to miss on this great offer. Just
After that, they can still sign up, but they will have to sign up separately for the passion test.
okay. Yes. So that passion
Okay.
test will not be part of
Yeah.
this. Okay. And would the PDF still be part of it?
Yes, yeah. The PDF I want to give everybody in the stress pandemic, because then they can refer to it on their own.
Okay.
I know that just being 3 hours, there is a lot of download, and then they need some detailed reference to it.
I love it. Thank you. Yes, Colleen, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, my darling. And just like you said, like just by going to that stress pandemic and the six-pack solution, I can just see myself using your teaching, even on this show. Sharing the knowledge with the people that I love that are going through a tough time. So the more tool we have in our toolbox, the more we can help the people around us that we love and we care for so much. This is amazing, Ahmad Shah. Thank you so much for lighting your light so generously on
Thank
the
you.
world.
Thank you. And thank you, viewers. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can also send me messages on Facebook. Facebook, I'm maxed. I think I have maybe 10 or 15 spaces. to reach 5,000. So, so, but anybody who wants to connect with me, just mention that you saw me on Dela's Voice, and then you get special treatment courtesy of Dela's Voice.
Woohoo! Thank you. Thank you, Ahmad Shah. Okay, so with that, we're gonna call it a day. And if there's anything else you would like to add, go ahead. Otherwise, we say goodbye to our viewers. And I want to thank you again.
So I just want to thank all the viewers for watching and staying with us. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful and beneficial, also entertaining, I hope. And I thank Dela's Voice and Dela. Do you mind if I call you Delaram? Because,
I don't mind at all. My mom named me Delaram, and she never called me Dela. She always called
okay.
me
So,
Delaram.
so because Delaram, you know what it means, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It means quiet heart.
No, it means that you are quieting other people's hearts.
That's nice.
Okay. So you are people who, and actually you do that. So you are living your name even without realizing.
Thank you. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much for your kind words, Ahmad Shah. I really appreciate. I appreciate you and the knowledge you have, and you always share it with me and with the world. And so that makes you a superhero, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very much. And thank you.
And so, for everyone else who's been watching, I want to thank you for your time. I want to encourage you to please, please, please take care of yourself and get all the tools you need to make this the best version of you. So, learn more, live better, smile more. And with that, my friends, this is Dela's Voice, hoping to spark your soul. Till next time. Bye, Ahmed.
Bye.